Hello there.
General Kenobi!
Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of the Silver Screen Brothers. It's a me, Mario, and this is my good friend, Luigi. What's up, Jared?
That was a very creepy impression of Mario. What's up, dude?
Woohoo!
Please don't do that again.
Okie dokie.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, it's gonna be one of those episodes.
We're gonna skip the normal news segment just because it's kind of a quiet thing. So yeah, what you been playing, playa?
And first off, actually, our topic is a little newsy, but it's more of the general topic for this episode.
The news is the topic.
Yeah, exactly. So I finished my playthrough of Avengers. It's one of my favorite Marvel games. I'm gonna be honest with you on that. From a story perspective, particularly if you replay it, because all your levels and loot carry over. So like when you're playing as Thor and Thor and Hulk and they're high level, you feel like a god. I'm like, witness me.
So you're saying that you brought the thunder?
Oh yeah. Oh, in the same way Jay Heat brings the heat, I brought the thunder. I brought the thunder. So I did that, and I played a little bit. I'm on the last mission of my Ultimate Alliance 2 playthrough, and then I'm probably going to continue my current playthrough of Ultimate Alliance 1, and maybe I'll start some Injustice. How about you?
Let's see here. I finally got around to finishing up Pokemon Scarlet. Like, I was just kind of on like the last few like things I had to do. Did that, beat the Elite Four. Did like kind of like the quick post game content. That was pretty sweet. Now we're waiting for the DLC to drop later this year. That'll be pretty sweet. Yeah. And then the other cool thing for Pokemon is, so the eShop closes later this month, and then after that, because like we had Pokebank and PokeTransporter for the 3DS, which is $5 a year, that's gonna become free. Like, you can still use the services, because I have like all my old Pokemon on my Pokemon Moon cartridge on the 3DS.
So, just for someone that doesn't understand a lot of Pokemon terms, what does this service do you're referring to?
Okay, so obviously with Pokemon you catch Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
But like ever since the GBA games, you've been able to transfer your Pokemon to the next generation.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that.
So let's say you had a copy of like Pokemon Ruby or Pokemon Sapphire for the GBA back in like 2003.
Mm-hmm.
You basically there's like a chain of events you gotta do. Like so basically what you do is you put that into your DS and you load up like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, or like any of the Gen 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
Diamond, Pearl, and you can transfer them that way. And then basically you use that, then you can transfer them to Black and White. And then from there, you use the PokeTransporter to transport them into like a cloud service, which allows you to use the 3DS games. So like I have Pokemon on my Moon save that are from like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Fire Red, Leaf Green, X and Y. And I have like a lot of great Pokemon on there.
Okay, I get it. It's basically cloud storage. You can transfer your earlier gen Pokemon.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, that's actually a good idea.
Yeah, it is. Like, there's people who have had Pokemon for like, that Pokemon that are literally 20 years old. You know, like
they grow up so fast.
Like little Pauletta, she gets a Pokemon Ruby for her birthday, and like her first Pokemon is a Torchic, and and then like she has that Blaziken from 2003, and she still has it. Like, so some people are kind of attached to these Pokemon, and I am too. I was kind of holding out, but now that I can transfer them, because like now the service is called Pokemon Home, like that's like the cloud service on Switch,
Mm-hmm.
on Switch and whatnot. You got to pay for it. It is what it is, and then you can kind of transfer into your games and whatnot. So that's what I'm pretty excited for. I'm gonna have all my favorites.
Yeah, it's relatively cheap for what you can do. So I'm like, oh, okay, it's not bad.
Yeah,
it's worth the value.
Yeah, and like all these games interact with it. Like you could even transfer your Pokemon from Pokemon Go and put them into the main games.
Yeah, I read that there was a service for you where you can do that.
Yeah, it's called Pokemon Home.
I was stacked I got a shiny Absol, and you know what I called him?
What?
Damn abs. And there was one I was naming them after Power Rangers villains. I have a Zeltrax.
Oh yeah, I sometimes do that when I like replay Pokemon games. I'll do like runs where I name them after like certain things. Like I did a Power Rangers run where I named all my Pokemon after like different Power Rangers and whatnot.
I forget. I named one Dark Side. I forget exactly what Pokemon it was. Yeah, I'm that guy.
Yeah, if you ever do end up getting a Switch, you should really get yourself one of the latest Pokemon games.
I probably will. My plan is for Switch is to get like Smash Bros, Ultimate Alliance 3, and then a Pokemon game.
Yeah, so the latest one is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Just pick whichever one you want. I have Scarlet, so if you want the opposite one, just pick Violet. And then I do recommend getting Pokemon Legends Arceus. That one came out earlier last year, and it's really good. It's a whole different Pokemon experience. So I like it.
I'll check it out.
And there's plenty of other games. And then yeah,
I'll check it out. I'll definitely check it out.
So yes, now that we've established that we are players, let's get to the news. Let's go.
So this topic flew under my radar for like a day, and it just happened. So I was going through my news feed one day, and I saw this, and at first I thought it was a troll because it's one of those things where I'm like, oh, there's no way.
Yeah,
so
there's got to be what?
All right, I'm going to share screen and we're going to go through an article because I saw this. Actually, I saw a YouTuber was talking about this and I thought it was a rumor. So, Forspoken, the studio that made Forspoken, that crappy game, has been shut down by Square Enix and the personnel have been absorbed into Square Enix proper.
Yeah, you know what the real shame is? Like, I actually watched a review of the game and they said, like, the combat is good. Like, the whole combat loop, it feels really nice. Like, there are positive aspects of the game.
The graphics
it's just the graphics and the story are just awful. But the mechanics of the combat, from what I saw in the review, like, they actually really liked it. So it's just a shame, honestly.
So we're gonna. So the article says publisher Square Enix has just confirmed via a short press release that its subsidiary studio Luminous Productions will be shutting down. Its developers will be folded into the larger Square Enix development arm. So at least the developers are not being fired. That's a good thing.
Yeah, like, I wonder, because, like, Square has kind of been quietly restructuring. Like, I don't know if you actually know, but they actually have a new CEO now. Like, they switched CEOs recently. Like, I wonder if that has to do with anything.
Well, it makes sense because they have had a really rough cycle with their past few games. Because you have, like, Avengers, which kind of failed. You have this. You have they haven't had the most smooth go.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, and plus they've been, like I said, they've been quietly kind of restructuring. Like, they got rid of the Eidos side, like they sold all that to the Embracer Group and whatnot. Because, like, stuff like Tomb Raider was actually a decent success. Like, maybe not a runaway success. See, I'd say the problem with Square Enix is really Square Enix themselves. Like, if you're not Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy, they tend not to know what to do with you. I would say, and like they said, unreasonable expectation. Like they don't really treat their Western devs really well, and like they kind of set unreasonable expectations for sales goals, and so like there's a lot of internal problems, and I'm hoping they fix them. I think they're on a good track. I think Final Fantasy 16 is probably going to do well. Final Fantasy 14 is really propping up the company. And I do think their kick of like remastering old games. I mean, it's a trend. It's right now we're kind of in the remake trend, so I think that's really fine.
They're I was gonna say when you brought up Tomb Raider, that is one of the rare occasions when you remake a game and it turns out really good. That and like whenever Halo remakes a campaign, I will give this to 343. Whenever they remake a campaign, it's really good.
Well, they're just. I mean, it's like. You're just following the storyboards, Bungie. You know what I'm saying? They it's like
yeah, but the stuff that they do add, like sometimes they'll add in they add in collectibles, they add in achievements, they add in other secrets that weren't in the original game, like secret areas and such. So that they add to it, they don't really subtract to it.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to F up that than it is, making something new.
Mm-hmm. So, Luminous Productions officially released only one title, the critically mixed open world RPG Forspoken, which came out a month ago.
That is the most game journalist line ever. The critically mixed.
That is the most generous statement you could ever give. Jeez.
Yeah.
Came out a month ago, so it appears far from coincidental that Square Enix is now deciding to shut the studio down. Though Forspoken was a commercial flop, ranking 7th in the list of best-selling games in the United States for January 2023. As per NPD, Square still clearly considered that the Luminous devs are better off working on other projects rather than making their own. That could be true.
Here's a kind of a curiosity thing. Like, there wasn't really many releases in January to begin with. What were there?
Let me.
Actually, I got you.
Yeah.
Let me. Oh, well, actually, you can look it up, but like I'm gonna look it up myself as well.
Yeah. I'll stop sharing my screen for right now.
All right, so let's see here. Video game release date 2023. January 2023 games. All right, let me just pop this up here, and then I'll share my screen, and then we can just kind of like.
So we got Aquatico, Vengeful Guardian, Moonrider.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, I think we were looking at the same.
Same article I got.
All right. Fire Emblem Engage. That's a pretty that's pretty high profile.
Hitman, Age of Empires, SpongeBob the Cosmic Shake.
Like, honestly, the only game that the only game that of any note other than Forspoken is Fire Emblem Engage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all these other ones are like re-releases or just like AA games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not saying these games are bad. It's just compared to Dead Space remake. That also was fairly big. I got to give that one props.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that Forspoken was 7th was the 7th highest selling game of January when it didn't have much competition, because like Fire Emblem Engage was a Switch exclusive. It wasn't directly competing with Forspoken. Plus, Fire Emblem Engage hits a whole different audience than Forspoken.
Yeah, it's not the same audience.
Dead Space might have been a bit of a competitor. I'll admit that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Dead Space came out 3 days or so after. Like, I could see Dead Space kind of taking some sales, but Dead Space is still a remake.
Mm-hmm. It's not an original IP, so still you could argue it's a different audience.
And even at that, even with Forspoken should have, like, even if those games that sold it, Forspoken should have been like 3rd or 4th, maybe, not 7th.
Mm-hmm.
This is just my little armchair analysis right here. It's like okay, Fire Emblem Engage probably sold a lot of copies. Dead Space might have like stolen some sales from Forspoken because like same consoles, similar-ish audience. So like that one you might argue might have stolen some sales. They released close to each other. Fire Emblem Engage released 4 days Forspoken, but like I don't think Fire Emblem Engage was that big of a factor. But even like best case scenario, Forspoken should have been 3rd or 4th.
Yeah.
Not 7th. 7th in this like very thin month. Like, there's no reason it should be that low.
Yeah, that's why. I think honestly it was also the horrendous social media response, because again, if someone was considering buying it, then they see like game reviewers they trust, or like YouTubers they trust saying this looks like crap, they're not going to pick it up.
I mean, yeah, that's with lots of games, honestly. But yeah.
So we actually have an update from Luminous themselves. You may have heard the news that Luminous Productions is merging with Square Enix. Beginning on May 1st, our talented team will join Square Enix to deliver new, innovative gaming experiences to players across the globe. Between now and then, we remain entirely focused on Forspoken. We are currently working on the previously announced patch to address overall game performance. We will deliver an update soon. And the DLC, Entanto We Trust, is on track to release this summer. Thank you again for your patience and support. When we established Luminous Productions in 2018, our vision was to create AAA games that fuse technology and artistry to deliver completely new play experiences. Having the chance to do just that has been a dream come true. We appreciate you taking the journey with us, and basically saying we look forward to creating more stuff in the future.
Pretty pog standard, I'd say.
Now, here's what I gotta wonder. Is this going to become more commonplace for, like, because what I'm thinking of is that if 343, say, doesn't really perform well for Halo, are they going to shut down the gaming studio and just use 343 as, like, making merch and stuff because of the reaction, and just merge all the developers in with Microsoft and just make general Microsoft games? That's what I'm wondering.
I mean, as far as the Halo stuff, someone's got to make Halo games first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's Bungie, the Initiative, or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm not a Halo person, just gonna say that right now. But if I were to speculate as an outside observer, I would say I think probably what'll happen at first is they'll gut 343, at least like the top down leadership, at least, because like I feel like your average dev at 343 is pretty talented. Like, look at kind of like the art style stuff.
And when you look at a lot of the complaints that a lot of insiders at 343 have been giving to YouTubers, it's that the leadership is horrendous.
Like, I feel like they'll probably gut the management team, like just the C-suite executives,
which they've started,
but not really the workforce. So I feel like the workforce is pretty good. Like, there's no need to gut that. I don't think so. But like gut the management team, put a whole new management team in there. Maybe have like honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they hire a former Bungie dev to lead 343. Because you got to realize, it's been a while since Bungie left and they did Destiny. I'm sure there's quite a few of the Halo devs that are just kind of swirling around. They're not working at Bungie anymore. Like, how much of a PR win would it be if they hired one of the designers of Halo 1 or 2? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I got news for you. When Joseph Staten, he was the original writer. He wrote like a lot of Halo lore back in the day. When he was brought on to Halo Infinite to help out, people were a little more like, okay, Joseph Staten's involved. And whenever Joseph Staten himself would give an update and say, hey, we're working on this, people were like, okay, trust Staten. So that could very well happen, that they could, but I guarantee you this, they're not going to try a live service Halo game anymore. No, there's no way they try this again.
No, I mean, we'll kind of talk about the whole death of live service. I mean, that's another topic, or we'll kind of talk about it here. But I think that deserves its own whatever.
But what I mean is that
I really think bringing on like a designer or like a director or producer of Halo from the Bungie days, like have him lead 343
permanently lead.
Yeah, he's not temporary, but have him that would someone that the community trusts, and then obviously they'll probably do a lot of oh hey, I'm telling stories, or I'm doing he's giving interviews where he's talking about oh, remember the Halo 1 days and I did this, I did that, I'm not even mad. That's I think that would probably be their best course of action if they want to or just another trusted dev from another studio or something.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, here's the thing. They put, I think, in charge of the multiplayer, at least, was the dude that saved the Master Chief Collection. I've said this on the show before. And when that was announced, people were like, thank God. Because, again, I mentioned about how the Master Chief Collection has had a really bad go-round, but then it became the definitive Halo experience.
Well, what I'm saying is, and this is just in short, they need to install someone at the head of 343
Yes.
the community trusts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Exactly.
But it can't be some nobody. Like they need to rebuild confidence fast. They need somebody who, when they announce it, the community's gonna go, okay, maybe there's hope. Like like you need someone to where the audience be like, okay, I'm gonna give you a chance. I'm gonna benefit you out. I like this person. Let's give him or her a chance to succeed or fail. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Because because the current figureheads of 343 are the ones that screwed up royally and have had really bad alliances. So if you bring in like Joseph Staten permanently, or like any of the any of the old time game devs to at least point the development in the right direction, I think it would go a long way.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Jared, but I feel like Halo is at a really critical point because with a lot of this stuff, you get like the audience. I feel like the Halo audience is still the point where they want Halo to succeed.
Yeah.
They want Halo to be good. The audience hasn't reached the cynical point yet. Like they haven't reached the actively hating the franchise.
It's bordering on it.
Yeah, so this is a really critical juncture where they still have a chance to save their community. And the Halo community is nothing if not passion. If you lose the Halo community,
Microsoft is in trouble because Halo is Microsoft's like baby. It's their thing.
It's their Mario.
It's their Mario. That's why the Master Chief should basically go, here we go. But anyway, if they screw up the Master Chief, I'm sorry, the Microsoft gaming division is in huge trouble if they allow Halo to become to lose its community.
Like, have you heard that like Game Pass is kind of failing a little bit? Like,
really?
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard some reports about that. Like, Microsoft might not be doing as hot as they thought. Like this Activision deal is becoming more trouble than it's worth. I mean, we're kind of going a bit off topic here, but like, honestly, I feel like the gaming industry is kind of like I feel like 27 till like 2020 will be known as the golden age of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
A little, well, actually, probably more like a silver age because like the golden age is probably like early 90s to like the 90s is probably the golden age, or like the NES and Super Nintendo era is like the golden age. I don't know, but like an end of an era. I think we're kind of at the end of an era for video games, and with the economy kind of going down the crapper as it is, I think people's patience for a lot of these video games are wearing thin. Like we're starting to see resistance to the Sony formula of games. Mm-hmm. You know, like the walk, talk, minimal combat. You know, the Uncharted, Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, Tomb Raider kind of style games.
Last of Us.
You know, that's a whole can of worms.
But the other thing is that 343 also to get back to this real quick, they have to also establish how to like make the other components of the Halo brand good, like the show, because they need to get accordingly. They said they're going to make the show more closer to the games because I think it was a crappy idea. They can't have anything that's outside of canon. No, let me put it this way: if the story you want to tell,
I'm sorry,
hang on. If the story that you want to tell doesn't fit in the Halo canon, don't tell your story.
So season 1 was like, oh hey, hi canon. Oh, I'm sorry. This later it got on the cannon. Oh, the cannon's on fire. Oh, we don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Once they it's really stupid.
As soon as he took off his helmet, it's like it's like
that was the first time, because if it were just that one scene, I would have been like, I mean, I don't like it, but I get why they do it.
Here's the thing: if they're gonna take his helmet off, they should have made it a big moment. Because look at the Mandalorian. Whenever he took off his helmet, that was a big freaking deal.
And it had consequences in the subsequent seasons.
Yes, like it was important.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he's like in season 3, he's still dealing with the ramifications taking off his helmet, but like he just took it off just for no freaking reason at the end of the second episode.
Because like, according to the actor who plays Chief, he goes, "There's no like in-universe rule that the Spartans have to keep their helmet on." And I go, "Wait a second." I go, "Wait a second." Yes, that's true. There's a very strict fan rule because you cease to be the Master. Because the thing about the Master Chief is that if he doesn't show his helmet, to a certain extent, you can become the Master Chief no matter what you look like.
Yeah, and it's something the games have abide by. Like, has he ever taken off his helmet in the games?
They've shown like just his eyes like here at one point when the helmet comes off on a legendary ending, but no, you've never seen his full on face.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Judge Dredd kind of rule.
Yeah. So if they do, it's so. And what was kind of funny, they made at the end of season 1 that he has to keep his helmet on.
Well, to be fair, he's a corpse, so you know it is what
Yeah,
it is.
but to be clear, what I mean is that you also have to make sure that they have not only the games, you have to make sure the brand itself, people have confidence in the brand, and the show does not help, and all that, and like releasing a Halo cookbook does not help.
I mean, that's just fan stuff. I mean, they release cookbooks for lots of stuff, you know.
Even though like nothing there is even named is even Halo themed or named, so I'm like, what's the? It's just Halo at that point.
I know they released like a World of Warcraft cookbook, but like at least World of Warcraft has like lots of like cooking dishes and whatnot. You know, so you make actual stuff from the games and whatnot. So like at least that actually made a little bit of sense.
Yeah, but it's not even named like plasma grenade tacos or something like that. I'm like, what?
Or what, Halo onion rings.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even named that. It's just called like onion rings or something like that. So I'm like, oh, that's stupid. But anyway, my point is they have to establish faith in the brand, because otherwise I could see this happening to 343 and they'll just fire they won't fire any of the devs, I don't think. They'll fire the C-suite people and say, you guys are all part of Microsoft now. You're part of our leadership team anymore. You don't get your independence. They'll still make the Halo games, but they'll just be like the Halo division of Microsoft.
I think before, because like bringing them in-house might like give some overhead that they might not want to do. I think they'll try out a new management team before they do that. Because
yes. But I'm saying if that fails, then just be like, okay, you're Microsoft now.
Yeah.
Which is sad because this studio was created just to do Halo.
Yeah. Another kind of thing I wanted to talk about is I kind of feel like Konami's. This is a whole nother topic entirely. This is I'm bringing up. I really feel like Konami is slowly kind of coming back. Like for example, they released a DLC for the game Dead Cells, where they literally release a Castlevania game inside Dead Cells.
Really? That's cool.
So if you've never played Dead Cells, it's a really great game. It's basically a roguelike Metroidvania, where basically you do your run, you die, but like you get like, you know, cells that you can use to upgrade your characters. Like every time you do the run, you actually get a little bit stronger each run. Normally I'm not a fan of roguelikes, but I do like how each run actually means something in these games. Like, even if you do a run, you only get like 5 cells. That's still 5 cells you put towards your character progression. So you get a little bit stronger with each run. So I really like it. And they released a Castlevania DLC.
Nice.
Where you're actually interacting with Castlevania characters. And you're like, there's like Castlevania tracks. You're beating Castlevania monsters. Still in the Dead Cells engine. But yeah, I downloaded it. It was only $10, like honestly pretty reasonable. And it's really nice. I played a little bit last night. It's really good.
That works. I like that. That sounds cool.
Yeah, and like Konami. So Konami was a company that they kind of exited game development towards the start of the PS4 generation. Like they're known for like Castlevania, Metal Gear Solid, and like a bunch of other things.
Did they do Lost Planet?
I'm not only 1-0, by the way.
Oh, okay,
Konami.
only 1-0. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, they're kind of one of my favorite devs because like Castlevania is probably my favorite game series of all time. And like they also did Silent Hill. So if you're familiar with that series. Like they've been doing more collections. Like they released a Cowabunga collection recently. They've been doing Castlevania collections. They just seem to be more willing to open to work with people. So I have a feeling we're gonna start to see more Konami games coming up soon, and I honestly that just really excites me.
By the way, speaking of Cowabunga collection, did you see that trailer for the new TMNT movie?
I haven't. As soon as I heard Seth Rogen was doing it, I really wanted nothing to do with it.
All right, that's all right.
I did see the April O'Neil, and I'm like,
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. But but I'm gonna be very interested. Getting back on topic to see if other game like game overseers, for lack of a better term, start to follow Square Enix's example and saying, if you don't do this, we're gonna absorb you and you won't have your independence your relative independence anymore.
I mean, we're kind of already starting to see it. Like I swear I've seen like other kind of like studios kind of happen with this. You know, I feel like the game industry is in a belt tightening mode at the moment. I really do feel like that.
Well, because again, like you said, with the recession and everything, these companies are starting to feel the economic grind, and they're like, no, we can't afford this. And if they're not producing funds to justify their independence, they can't be independent.
Yeah. Also, Jared, so we were talking about Switch 2. We were talking about you getting a Nintendo Switch. You might want to hold off till the end of the year on that one, because there are heavy rumors that we actually might be getting a Switch 2 coming at the end of the year.
All right. I'll do it.
And it should be backwards compatible, but we're not sure. I mean, there's always like Switch 2, Switch Pro rumors floating around, but like the places that I talk, like I frequent the gaming leaks and rumors subreddit, and they're pretty good about like their reporting, and they've been talking about it. Like there's been some listings about it, and it's looking pretty solid. So normally I wouldn't comment on these kind of stuff because like, oh, another week, another Switch Pro rumor, you know. But like these are pretty solid rumors. Yeah. And you also got to think, like, the PS5 came out like 2 to 3 years ago, and so basically this new Switch 2, it's gonna be basically in between the PS4 Pro and the PS5 in terms of power.
It's not bad,
which is pretty good, because I think the problem with the Switch is during the PS4 era, you could, if you're good enough with the coding, you could cram a PS4 game onto the Switch and make it work. But like the Switch is kind of really it's been around since like 2017. It's getting on 6 years old. And like the Switch is like roughly a little bit more powerful than the PS3, you know. So like we're really kind of due for an upgrade, and I think with this power boost, you'll be able to get like PS5, Xbox Series X games. You can shove them onto the Switch more. And I think that's what they're gonna do. So I'm kind of interested. I think it'll be kind of interesting to see.
Me too. That'd be fun. So yeah, I'll wait until the end. That was when I was gonna buy it anyway. So if it comes out the end of the year, then I'm good.
Yeah, we should know more either in the summer or the fall, because like they should give us like a 3-month kind of window before they release it. Like they're not gonna pull a Sega and be like, "Hey, here's our Saturn. It's available now." You know, that actually happened.
Really? Wow. All right. So do you want to move on to our top 5 list?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I got one. Top 5 RPGs, since we were talking about Forspoken. So I'll go first. Mass Effect, any of the games, because I love good sci-fi. Knights of the Old Republic, the original one specifically, because that was like perfect. Skyrim, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1, because that was very much an RPG.
Okay.
And in terms of my 5th option, I'm probably going to go with... Does DC Online count?
It's an MMORPG, so sure.
Okay, DC Online.
You really need to play some more JRPGs, brah.
I'm not really an RPG player, though. What I like about Mass Effect is that they heavily go onto the shooter portion of it, so it's a little more my speed. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I can go in with that. And Knights of the Old Republic it's Knights of the Old Republic. You got to play that if you're a Star Wars fan.
Well, yeah. So for me, my list is going to be quite different. I actually grew up more as a fan of like the Japanese kind of side of the role playing games. Like role playing games are actually like my favorite genre.
Mhm.
So it's like you have to be like top 5. Like I could do.
I
my
saw
top
that smile
20.
on your face. I saw that smile on your face.
Like I could do like my top 20, honestly. But I'll
Okay,
just,
my
I'll
top
keep it, I'll keep it
100 RPGs are. Yeah, exactly.
All right, and so this is going to be no particular order list because I don't really feel like ranking them. KOTOR,
Mhm.
Tales of Symphonia, Pokemon, Final Fantasy VIII. I was gonna Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2. Actually, I'm gonna do my top 10 because I just got too many. Let's see here. Did I say Golden Sun already?
I have no idea. Just go ahead and say it.
Okay. Star Ocean, First Departure. Let's see here. Persona. Let's see here. Yeah, because like in particular Persona 3 and then Persona 5. Breath of Fire 3, Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, which is like more like it's an RPG, and then let's see here, KOTOR, and then World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
That was 11, but
might as well. That's fine. But yeah, those are good options. Yeah, I like RPGs because I like games where I could be a total dick to people.
Yeah,
that's the most fun.
You need to play Jade Empire.
Have you noticed that the bad playthrough always has the best dialogue options?
Have you ever played Jade Empire?
No.
Okay, have you heard of it?
Vaguely.
It's a game made by BioWare back in 2005 using the KOTOR engine.
Ooh.
To where it's basically like a fantasy version of China where you're using like different types of martial arts. And there's 2 paths. The way of the closed fist and the way of the open palm. And so like if you like the KOTOR style games and if you like more action-y kind of stuff, you need to play Jade Empire because it was made by BioWare using the KOTOR engine.
Wow.
So like cool. If you're playing it, like the dialogue looks straight out of KOTOR. And it was made like in 2005, 2006, like when BioWare was at its peak.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
like
I'll check that out.
You need to play that game.
I'll check that out. And by the way,
Xbox and PC.
One of the other reasons why I like Knights is because that was my first introduction to Mandalorians. I was like, oh, these guys are badasses. It's like I will always go back. That best part of Knights of the Republic 1, I immediately established how badass these Mandalorians are. Is when I think you were in the Undercity on Terrace, and you're walking. Then all of a sudden you see like this bounty hunter intimidating these 2 people to pay up, and then he goes, "Oh, he basically says you can't intimidate us," and then the bounty hunter just whistles. Candrius Order walks in, the Mandalorian mercenary, and then they just back off immediately. Like, nope, we don't want any trouble. I was like, that immediately establishes how badass these guys are. So, and again, that twist where you find out you're the bad guy the whole time. Like, again, that is just fantastic. But
by the way, Jade Empire is $10 on Xbox, and I believe it's on Game Pass.
I'll check that out because I have Game Pass.
If it's on Game Pass, you need to play it.
Yeah, because I have Game Pass. I'll check that out. And a recommendation I have from Game Pass is the Master Chief Collection.
Of course.
It's on there, and I think you would actually enjoy it because that's the way you can get into it. It has the first 4 games, 3 of which are good. And it also has ODST as well.
I'm really hoping that like later today you message me like, why have I never heard of this game?
Like Avatar.
I'm telling you, I think you're gonna love it because play it with a controller. I mean, if you're gonna play on Xbox, you're probably gonna play a controller. What's really cool is like there are these different like martial art styles. Like there's like obviously the fist. You can use there's like weapons. There's transformation. There's magic.
That's cool.
So, like, my favorite style that I always like to do is my main one was White Demon, which is kind of what you started with, which is kind of like your martial arts. And then I kind of rolled to the back, and then like I just threw some fireballs, and then like there was like longsword because like they don't like White Demon longsword, dire flame. You know, they keep call it out. You're rolling around. You know, so if you're a Dark Souls person, and then like you got your sword, and then the last one I usually use like chi steel. There's like a focus mode. So like your sword is really good, but if you're using focus, it becomes more powerful. Then you upgrade these skills. You can like turn into demons. There's like obviously there's a morality system, and it's a fantasy take on medieval China. So it's like
it's cool. I'll check that out.
Yeah,
But,
it's really really good.
So in Halo, there.
And by the way, the music is amazing.
Well, it's
I
BioWare.
actually have the soundtrack signed by the composer.
Of course you do. But so and with Halo, so they have these things called skulls, which are basically cheats. And in Master Chief Collection, they give you the skulls for free, so you have like the infinite ammo skulls. So if my buddy of mine, we were playing on the hardest difficulty, we're having trouble. What we did, so there was this hallway, this long hallway that enemies were just bunched up. So we crouch, walk forward slowly while crouch, and just spam the grenade button. So we're just walking, doing this. And we have like bodies flying past us. It's so good. Plus, having infinite ammo with a rocket launcher is really fun. Not for the enemies, but it's fun for me. But anyway, so check that out. It's also crossplay. So we could, I could show you the ropes.
It's a possibility. I know I've been trying to arrange like a group gameplay kind of thing, you know. So.
Yeah, we should get like you, me, Snyder Queen. Well, actually, the three of us could play Apex as a trio.
I'm not really much of an Apex person. I don't know. I'm trying to get us to play GTA Online. That's what I'm playing. We'll talk about that.
Once I get a gaming PC together, I'll get GTA Online on PC, and then we'll go crazy.
That'll be so much fun because like I have 500 hours on GTA 5 on Steam, and like so I played it a lot and like actually have a bunch of the cool stuff, you know. Oh, by the way, did you know you can get what GTA Online does? They do like parody vehicles. So there's this thing called the Vigilante.
It's a Batmobile. I know what you're talking about.
You can get the Batmobile, you can get the DeLorean, and it actually flies.
I want the Batmobile.
Yes, you can get the Batmobile. You can get the Mach 5 from Speed Racer. You can get Kit, you know, from Knight Rider. There's kind of like a Tron bike. There's and also like there's like parodies of like known cars. Like you want a Mustang, you can get a Mustang, you can get a Corvette. You know, like trust me, it's really fun. Like the cars are really nice. You can modify them. I trust me. I'll be showing off my car collection.
I played GTA 5 online. I have like a couple I have like a good amount of times like saved to my Xbox. I just wish it were. Is it can I import my character from Xbox to PC, or do I have to start from scratch?
You might have to start from scratch. Let me just it would be a transfer, so you'd permanently transfer it, you know.
My character from Xbox to PC. Let me see. Can be transferred.
It can?
It says I can. It can. So you know what? Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know if that's still like how to GTA account transfer.
Well, there's an article from when GTA 5 came out on the PC. Many players will want to upgrade. If you intend to play GTA 5 online on the PC, you will be able to keep your character in game progression. So there you go. I can do it. It's just a transfer.
Yeah,
it's an actual process.
I'm looking at
Oh, and by the way, when I get it on PC, I'm getting the mods that let you play as the Justice League. I am going to play as Superman. That's what we should do, Nick. You play as Batman, Sammy plays as Wonder Woman, I play as Superman.
Well, here's the thing. On PC, there's this thing called 5M, which is like, you know, like kind of like a private servers for GTA Online. And I'm sure the superhero server, like I know, like there's a server that had like the actual '89 Batmobile.
Yeah, we should check that out.
We definitely check out 5M. So yeah, I just looked up an article where like it's updated 2023, and yes, console players can transfer to PC. Just note that this is a one-time thing, and then once you transfer it, that's permanent. So just be sure, okay?
Does it delete my stuff from the Xbox, or does that stay there?
It does.
Well, I don't play on the Xbox anyway, so it's not like
I
it's
just
gonna
want
that
you to be
much.
aware of it. I don't want
I
you to,
appreciate
like,
this, but the point is that I don't really play GTA 5 on my Xbox anyway, so it's not going to be a big thing. Plus, if I could play with you guys on the PC, you know what? I'll take that. I'll take that price.
yeah, and then like
Plus, I can play as Henry Cavill Superman. All you gotta do is that's the selling proposition.
To be fair, only on modded. Like you could create, like you could do that in if you mod your game.
I'll mod it.
You know?
I'll mod it.
Yeah, just be careful about that. Even I'm a little wary about GTA 5 modding, but yes, it can be done. And then like if need be, because like the big moneymaker is like Cayo Perico heist. I could actually bring in my cousin who's really big into GTA, and he could actually help us guide us through that heist. You know, if need be, if it's just you, me, and Sammy.
Yeah, and I can just get stacks on stacks of money.
Yes. You know, like there's so much cool stuff. Like obviously the apartments. I have I have a yellow submarine.
So you live in a yellow submarine, is what you're telling me there?
Yeah. Yes. I literally made my submarine yellow just for that. I mean, come on, you know. Also,
I have a bunker, so I basically have my own bat cave.
Yes. By the way, I have a yacht, and you can like name it. I named it Jenny. I'm sorry, I can't help the memes. I can't.
What
help
I want the VTOL. So you know what I did once? So I got the mobile command center that has the artillery cannons in the trailer.
Oh,
so,
nice.
So as my buddy was driving, I actually shot the cab of the car.
Also, there's like some really nice airplanes. Like there's like the B-11 Strike Force is basically like the A-10 Warthog.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
can you use the Batwing?
not at the moment, but like there's a flying bike. You know, the Mark II Oppressor. Which, yeah, everyone hates that. Let's see here. Obviously, there's like tanks. There's like Mad Max. Like there's a wide variety of stuff.
So anyway,
really
what we'll do is that we may even stream it and like if we can safely get the mods to play as the Justice League, we'll do that, and we'll just screw around with superpowers. We'll watch. We're gonna turn into the 7. Oh, which makes me Homelander. Oh no. Well, in that case, you're Black Noir, so you have a peanut allergy. Suck it.
I'm allergic to these nuts.
Okay, there you go. But
I'm sorry, you opened it up. You opened the door for that one.
That I did. I do that a lot on these shows. But
all right, so let's wrap this up here because we're going
real quick. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts on like Luminous being shut down. If you think that this bodes badly for other game studios, what you think is going to happen with 343, and if you would be interested in a Comics League GTA server.
Yeah, I honestly, I think we should like a community server would be really great. Like even or like I think we should look into a Minecraft server, honestly.
But see, I'm not a Minecraft guy, so I really can't.
See, the thing is, a Minecraft server actually would be a lot. Well, we can talk about this like off air.
Yeah, we can. But anyway, Nick, do you want to send us off?
This has been Nick from the Phoenix Press, and remember, I can only show you the door. You're the ones to walk through it.